Hi, I'm Paul Steinbrook with Skyway Web Design and Marketing. Thanks for joining me for this website design frequently asked questions video. We get lots of questions about website teams. What is a team? Who should be on the team? Who should do what? So I'm going to address many of those questions in this video. Let's start with the obvious first question. What is a web team? Well, a web team is a group of people responsible for building, updating, and managing your website. Pretty simple, right? But now let's dig into the details with the question, why a web team? Why shouldn't I just do this myself? Well, there are lots of good reasons for that. First of all, staffing redundancy. You should have more than one person on your website team, because if somebody gets sick or somebody leaves your company, you've got somebody else who can manage and update your website. Second reason is share the workload. It's much easier to keep the website maintained and updated if there is more than one person responsible for different parts of the website rather than one person responsible for everything. And the next reason for a web team is more expertise. You're going to have different people in your organization who are good at different things. Some people are good at photography, some people are good at tech stuff, some people are good at writing. And so if you can get people who specialize in those things rather than one person trying to do all of them, you're going to end up with a better website. And then fourth reason to have a web team is multiple perspectives. The more people that you can have involved, then the more different viewpoints. Is your website accomplishing what it should from a marketing standpoint, from a customer service standpoint? Does it look good from a variety of different people's opinions? And so that's helpful to have diverse opinions and diverse perspectives on your team. The next question is, who should be on the team? Well, I hinted at some of these people just a minute ago, but let's run down on some of the main people you'd want in on your web team. First, you'd like to have the marketing or communications director of your company or organization, because they're going to be the one making the final decision on things and also organizing and leading the team. So it's good to have them on the team. A content writer, somebody who's going to write the text for your pages, somebody who's going to write blog articles and social media, things like that. Photographer, good to have somebody who is very good at photography on your team. And then somebody who is going to be the technical person or the IT person. They're going to be the ones building the website, doing the technical aspects of it. However, oftentimes this technical part of it can be delegated if you hire a web designer, web developer to do the building of the website for you and also to manage the technical updates of the site. So your tech or IT person could actually be outsourced to somebody else. All right, defining the roles and authority. So this is another thing. If you're going to have multiple people on the team, they need to know what they're going to do and when they're going to do it and who can make decisions and all kinds of things like that. So again, one of the things that you're going to want to do is define who is going to update the different parts of the website and how often they're going to do it. You might have one person updating pages, one person posting blog articles, one person posting photos, one person doing the technical updates of plugins. And so it's good to define who's doing what and how often they're doing it. Who's going to be making design decisions? Like if you're going to change the look of the site or the layout of a page, who has the authority to do that? If you're going to add new pages or remove pages, who has the authority to do that? This is really important, especially early in the process, if you're going to hire a web designer or a website development company to build your website for you. We have seen on multiple occasions where an organization will have an intern or a secretary be our point of contact. They come in on the calls and they decide what pages are going to be on the website or what content is going to be where. And then it turns out that the higher-ups in the organization, the marketing director or the CEO, then second guesses those decisions. And then our point of contact has to come back and say, hey, we want to change these things. And then that ends up costing time and money for the revisions. So make sure that you know who has the authority to make design decisions in your organization and your web team. Who can authorize expenditures? This is another important thing. If you need to make additional revisions or you want to add something that's not included in the original cost, who gets to make those decisions? Important to make that decision early on when you're setting up your web team. And then who is the point of contact? This is really important from a couple of different perspectives. First of all, if you are hiring a web development company, you're going to have one person who's going to be the point of contact to interact with that web development company. You don't want to have 2 or 3 or 4 people on every single call, 2 or 3, 4 people on every single email and everything. You want to have one point of contact that will streamline the operation. But also from an internal perspective, if you're going to put announcements on your website, if you're going to do other kind of communication on your website, internally, who is the person who those requests have to go to? Can anybody just make whatever website changes they want? Or is there an updates coordinator that people contact and everything goes through that person? So that's important to define when you are developing your web team. All right, well, that is information about building your web team. I really encourage you, before you even start building your website, to define the roles and define the people who are going to be on your web team. Just don't leave it up to volunteers, but ask specific people that you want to have on your web team. And it will definitely make for a better website and a better experience when you have a team working together on this. So thanks for watching this video, and if you have any other questions or you would like to talk with our team about building a website for your company or organization, please contact us at support@skywayweb.com. Thanks again for watching.